Well, if you are injured through no fault of your own, you may be in a position to pursue legal action.
But there are some common misperceptions about personal injury claims and lawsuits.
Kristen Shireman is a partner at Herling Clark Law Firm, and she is here to help us understand some of those. Good morning to you.
Hi, Kristen.
Good morning.
Well, what are some of those myths or misconceptions that you come across?
There's a number. So the internet is kind of a great thing, but it also becomes a very challenging thing, I think, for a lot of people in the service industry. One of the things that we often hear when I represent someone is that there is a myth that somehow a personal injury claim is worth 3 times the medical bills. It must be floating around the internet, whether it's an old wives' tale or something that people read online. But there really isn't a formula to determining the value of a personal injury claim, which is why it's very important if you've been injured, seriously injured, to sit down and talk with someone who can help you understand how it is you get to understand the value of the claim and what claims you even have a right to make. There's just not a calculator out there, regardless of what the internet might suggest is the case.
What about the belief that if someone is filing a claim, that all the claims have to be settled at one time?
That's another one that we hear, and it's one that whether you need an attorney to help you or not is not true. So when you're injured in an accident, oftentimes you can think about the body can get hurt, but so can the car or the vehicle that you were in. So that's a personal injury claim versus a property damage claim. And you don't have to wait to settle both at the same time. And oftentimes you don't want to wait. We usually know what happened to the car right away. It's not going to change. Whereas the personal injury claim or what happens to you can take quite a while to figure out. So it's completely acceptable to want to resolve the property damage claim right away so that you can get yourself into a new vehicle or a vehicle that works, and then wait to settle your personal injury claim until you understand entirely what's happened to your body.
Now, based on that conversation, does it take a long time to resolve these cases, or are some of them tied up pretty quickly?
It's case dependent. It completely depends. There are people who are injured but are able to get medical treatment and recover in a fairly quick period of time, and that's fine. However, there are a number of claims where the injuries are serious enough or they linger and you make some recovery but not a total recovery. You don't ever want to settle a personal injury claim until you understand the complete effect of that injury on yourself and on your ability to work. So it can be quick, it can take years.
So is litigation necessary to receive compensation?
It's not necessary. It can happen. So typically you will work directly with the insurance company, whether that's yourself or through an attorney, to try to resolve the claim. But every now and then there are disagreements in what the value of the claim is or what injuries are related to the accident itself. And in those cases when the parties simply can't agree, that's when litigation becomes a very helpful tool. Because it allows you then to do things that you don't do in direct negotiations. But it all depends on the claim.
You're clearly very well versed in personal injury, but what other areas does Herling Clark practice in?
Our firm handles almost everything under the sun except for criminal defense. So family law is a big area of need right now. We also handle real estate matters, trusts, wills, business matters. So lots of things that touch somebody in their everyday life. We've got lawyers that can help with that.
Okay, and you will find them near to you. Herling Clark has offices in Appleton, Green Bay, and Oshkosh, but they serve many surrounding communities.
Great advice can also be found on their website, herlingclark.com, if you are looking